Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. All right, I just wanted to make sure we are live. Jess, you can turn your camera on if you like, darling. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good beautiful people. Hold on. The crazy thing is, I think we are live in the group and also on my personal page. Let me go check, right? Oh, and we are, but it looks like it's more private on my personal page. It's okay, as long as my developers can see us. How are y'all doing on this beautiful Thursday morning? I hope y'all are doing good. All right, so let me do my intro. Welcome to another episode of Link Up with Lineka. Woohoo! Today, guess what? We're diving into the arts of balancing acts, right? Specifically navigating the 9 to 5 grind while building your personal brand. What? So we got our good sis Jessica to the left or the right of me. I'm gonna go back. I keep remembering to go back to go look and see what side y'all are on, so I don't have to keep going like this. But we have our good friend, our good sis Jessica, who has and is successfully going through this thing, being an entrepreneur and a full-time employee. How is she juggling, right? So we're gonna be talking about some things on how she's juggling into this world of entrepreneurship and um, a 9 to 5er. Okay, so I'm gonna mute my mic because I want my beautiful guest to introduce herself. The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. For those that don't know, I'm Jessica Harris. I am the owner of Sincere Sentiments by Jess, and I primarily do laser engraving with wood, just for personalization. Also do tumblers and baby products. My 9 to 5, as Lineka mentioned, I am a full-time electrical engineer in the power utility systems arena. And I started out in the field designing the power lines that you see going along the road, power to your house and your neighborhoods, to stores, schools, industrial parks. Moved on to designing the substations. So I call it the fence with all the lines going in it. I used to design those. I did storm duty. So when your lights went out, I'm riding the line, I'm pulling levers, switches to get your lights back on. Project management. I even worked in a nuclear plant for a little while. So I pretty much have done everything except hydro. Did that for about 10 years for field engineering and switched over to now I'm on the regulatory side where we get to tell people what to do. So I've been here for 6.5 years. Ever since COVID, we work from home. I've had my business since 2015 and started my business because I needed an outlet from the 9 to 5. I'm a creative by nature. My parents are creatives. My brothers and sisters are creatives. So that's what pretty much jump started the journey. And some days I'm like, what was I thinking? So Lineka said juggle. And I'm like, is it juggling? I'm trying to stay sane. Depends on the week. But
We're gonna talk
but
about
yeah.
all of that. I didn't know. Look, I don't know. I knew when I was working a 9 to 5 and trying to do my passion, my love, the photography part. I knew I was juggling the both. So that's why I said juggling. I should have asked you, huh? She said, I don't know if I was juggling, but you a boss. Yeah, Lee,
Thank you.
you a
Thank
boss
you.
out here. I appreciate that. Um, Listen, so I guess I would ask you, my first question is, how do you manage your time effectively between having a 9 to 5 and building your personal brand? How do you do that, Miss Jessica?
Managing time. Yeah. So luckily I grew up with a grandmother who gave you the grocery list. I wrote everything out.
Oh,
So
okay.
I can't even do anything without a list. So I have to sit down, write literally a brain dump just about every
Okay.
day. I actually start on Sunday. I check my phone, my work phone, see what meetings I have, write those out, and then write out all the things I want to get done this week. And
Mm-hmm.
then each morning, um, kind of my go-to is like try to pick three things
Uh-huh.
personally that I need to do and schedule it in between meetings. Um, that's if I'm not traveling. So that's another thing. My job does require traveling. Um, I used to travel maybe 2 to 3 weeks each month,
Oh
but since we've
wow.
been working from home, it's been usually once a quarter, one 2 times a quarter. I'll
Okay.
travel. Um, but yeah, a key for me if I don't have a list, and
Mm-hmm.
it's satisfying to be able to check things off or mark them off because otherwise, yeah, if I don't have a list, I'm totally lost. I just am, and I was like, even if I'm sitting in the car, I keep sticky notes in the car and a pen.
Okay.
So I have I
I'm getting
have to
that
have a
right.
list. Yeah.
I like that. I like that because I don't think I'm getting to a point where I already write a lot as it is, but I am getting to the point where I have to write out everything. Or if it's not written out, guess what? I love my phone
Yes, I
because
have a
I
running
can,
list in my phone. Yep.
yeah, I can get on that notes and be like, dip, 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 dip,
Yep.
or put a alarm because that's what I do now. I put on a whole alarm to make sure that I'm not late to something. Especially with my calendars, I'll be like, all right, send me an alarm. I don't care, just send me an alarm so I'm not making sure that I am not late to anything. But you know what? When I was working, I guess my passion just kind of overruled everything. I was like, I don't want to be here. I was sitting at work like, I
Oh,
don't want to
yeah.
be here. I want to do my photography. I want to shoot women. I want to shoot families. And so I think that because of that, I was I was ready to go do my whole uh business. Okay. It said I was disconnected. Can you still hear me, Jess?
I can hear you now. Yeah, there was a little bit of a
Oh,
lag, but you came
yeah, I was
through.
there. Let's see what happened. Okay. So you write things down so you can stay motivated, I guess, right?
Absolutely. Another trick I've learned: co-working sessions, and it doesn't have to be anything
Ooh.
formal.
Mm-hmm.
I am a part of some groups. They have co-working sessions that are formal. But I have no problem calling someone up and saying, hey, I really need to work on this. You got something to work on too? Okay, let's just
Okay.
set aside some time. Let's work on
Yay.
something and bounce ideas off each other if we need to. Like it can be an hour, hour and a half. It doesn't have to be long, but that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing that absolutely helps
I
because it's that
like that.
accountability part.
That part. Yes. I
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Okay. So what motivated you to start your business? What motivated you to start your business?
So by nature, I've always been a gift giver. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
gift what is it? Receiving gifts is not my love language. I could care
Mm-hmm.
less. Um, but giving gifts, I love it because I want people to know I care. And I've always done things different gifts, personalized gifts, handmade gifts, and that's pretty much was the catalyst for my business. I started out sewing, and I used to make stuffed elephants for nursery decor. They had a little rattle in it, and then I moved on to found out about the silhouette, moved on to making cards, greeting cards. Um, like I said, I grew up. My other grandmother, my father's mother, always wrote letters. Always sent a card. So my dad still does it. I still do it, whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or just because. Like Dollar Tree and cards are my favorite. I have a whole box of just, I'm ready to drop a card in the mail. Um,
Oh.
so I did all of that, and then I pivoted again.
Uh-huh.
I went to a trade show for, I think it was embroidery market or something, and they had all these machines out for how to personalize things. And I saw the Glowforge, which is a desktop CO2 laser. And I was like, what is this? Because it allowed anything that allowed me to be creative and different.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it after stalking it for a year. And I tried some of everything on it just to see what I liked. But what kicked off for me for the pivot was I had a friend getting married in DC. And she
Mm.
found a wooden wedding favor in the shape of DC. And she's like, I want you to make these for my wedding.
Oh,
And I looked
wow.
at it and said, you can buy them off Etsy from the person that's making them. she said, no, I want to pay you. And I'm like, this is crazy. You asking me to do something I've never done. And I did it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Little did I know, I listed it on Etsy. Lo and behold, it is still my number one seller
Wow.
like 4 years later. So 2022,
Uh-huh.
it took off. And I'm just like, so the room I'm in is my craft room upstairs. And I
Okay.
had orders all over the floor. I have my work computer, my personal computer, the Glowforge running in the back. If anybody called, I'd run it out the room to take the call because I didn't want them to hear the machine in the back. And I was like, okay, staying up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, I said, okay, we gotta upgrade. We gotta upgrade. I
Mm.
need something faster, more efficient. And 2023, I moved into a warehouse space and got a bigger laser. Business still was good, and I'm still in a warehouse space.
Okay.
So if you had told me I started my business in 2015, you told
Mm-hmm.
me a time before that, my initial response would always be, I can't sell ice to Eskimo. So there is no way I'm starting a business. I never would have imagined I'd be here, all because of I kept trying. I had people in my life who were entrepreneurs. My mom
Mm-hmm.
worked full time at the high school as the bookkeeper, and she started her own business. My mom loves to decorate, and she decorated for weddings, for birthday parties, for church anniversaries.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched her, and when she got her business license, I remember saying, "Oh, that is possible." And she didn't realize me and my sister sews quilts. She didn't realize me and my sister watched her so closely. And she was like,
Uh-huh.
these girls now are doing great. They're running their businesses. I don't know where you guys got it from. And I'm like, Mom, are you serious? My mom started out doing flowers. She used to like, floral arrangements. And
Mm-hmm.
then I remember she did grapevine wreaths. My grandmother had a grapevine harbor in the backyard. And my mom would go cut vines off of it, soak them so they were bendable. And I would
Mm-hmm.
watch her make the wreaths. And I learned how to make them. And she would decorate them with flowers, bows, all the stuff. That's how she started out.
Oh.
And then my dad is a photographer. So he did the same thing. He worked a 9 to 5 and
Uh-huh.
he would photograph weddings, birthdays, families, what have you. So I watched both of them raise 2 kids
Right. Mm-hmm.
and work hard and have something that they enjoyed as well.
I like that. I love that. I like the fact that I don't think you heard when you said you're a giver, right? And your business, your brand, your personal brand is gifts. So like
Yes.
it ties together. I didn't even think about that because you got to be a giver in order to keep giving gifts, right? And
Right, right.
the fact that your personal brand is really your personal brand, like your personal being. Like y'all got to catch that. Did y'all catch that? Because she is a giver and she likes giving gifts. She decided to create a personal brand on on customized gifts. Like that's dope at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Like
Thanks. I
that's
love how people feel. Like I want people to know, yes, I'm thinking about you. You're special. I took the time out to create this. And
yes.
for me, it's about memories. Every time you walk by something that someone gave you, it evokes emotion and it
Yes.
evokes memories. Whether it's something funny or you remember just how you felt in that moment. And
Yes.
it means so much. And I call it, my tagline is, we're here to make the art of gift giving an experience to remember.
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
So we believe we're here to make the art of gift giving an experience to remember.
I like that. And your what you do is kind of almost like photography, or how I feel about the photography, my brand. Creating memories is a thing for me. Listen, the day that I photographed Jessica, just as a side note, right? Because I'm drinking out of the cup that she designed for me. Um, I had a few folks. I'm gonna say a few folks. Um, I had to look. I got to turn it off so y'all can see it. Can y'all see this cup she designed? This is all laser. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, there you go.
And it has cameras and flowers, and then it has my name on it. So she created this for me. And so the day of our photo session, once we got done, she presented it to me. I had no clue, right? And so this is what makes me think about your brand. I had no clue that I was getting the gift, but I know that she remembered my reaction more than I remember my reaction because I still have the cup, right? That is part of having and creating experiences for your clients. Like at the end of the day, she didn't have to do this. She didn't have to do this. I should have been giving her a gift. You know what I'm saying? I should have given her the gift, but she ended
But
up
you
giving.
did.
Yeah,
With
you're
my
right.
photo shoot, you let me see what other people saw in me. I couldn't get
Mm,
it. People would tell me all the time, "Oh, you're talented," or they just give me compliments. And for me, it was like, okay, I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. Anybody can do this. But to see,
see.
as you like to put it, the boss
Mhm.
behind
Mhm.
it, and because as women, we don't talk about our accolades. We don't talk about everything we've done.
We don't.
And like I rarely tell people I'm an engineer, rarely, um,
Mhm.
or I talk about what I've done, let
Mhm.
alone own a small business. So yeah, that photo
I
shoot. was everything. I mean, I was nervous the entire time because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this looks right. But to see the final products, I mean, you saw I
Mhm.
posted on my personal page on Facebook. I don't do that. I rarely
Right.
post anything. And I called out everything about myself that I don't talk about, my accomplishments. So that was the gift you gave me.
Oh, I appreciate that. I like that. I like how you spun that around. I like that. This still was a surprise and it was a gift. Okay. But I like that. I like that you said what you said. All of it is as I sip on my cup, my water. Look at Tree. She's in the comments today. Hey, good morning, Latricia. Good morning, and I don't know who else is in here, but good morning, y'all. Um, being a 9 to 5er and your personal brand doesn't look like it's wearing a whole lot on you either. Just look like
You,
you out here
I
manage
appreciate it.
the both.
Well, I will say, being an engineer is hard. This is not
Mhm.
easy.
Yeah, you got a hard job, an
It's
engineer.
especially dealing with. So my company deals with all of North America, and so it's a lot of people I talk to throughout the week, and different personalities, and
Hmm.
some days it can be draining, but it's also setting boundaries. When I know I'm tired, because
Hmm.
I work 9 to 5, then I leave here, go to the warehouse, stay out there sometimes all weekend. So I'm just constantly going, but I have to know my boundaries. And I had to set like one night a week, I don't go to the warehouse. I'm
Okay.
going to rest. Um, I may spend a Sunday or a Saturday doing something with my friends. So it's like, it's okay. Just knowing how to, same thing with my orders. I schedule out my
Hmm.
orders.
Hmm.
I list what I got to do, when they got to go out, when my intended date is to send them out before they're actually due to go out, and just staying organized. And if it wasn't for the boundaries, yeah, I don't know what what I would do. And
Listen.
I like engineering. I think the entire part of my career, the most part of my career, has been design,
Hmm.
and so that's what kind of bled into the business as well. So I like giving
Right.
gifts. I like being able to design and the technical aspect. I knew people who got glow forges, and they're like, "Oh, it's still in a box a year later."
Mm.
First of all, I don't know anybody dropping money like that to have a footrest under their kitchen table.
I mean,
And they were intimidated. And I'm like, for me,
mm,
I'm totally opposite. I mean, I'm a female, black female working in a predominantly male industry. I worked
hmm.
in the field. 9 times out of 10, I was probably the only female, let alone the only black female out here.
Wow.
In like a matter of, I think, one district I worked in, I think I was the only, yeah, I know I was the only black female out of like 20 employees. And
Y'all,
that's not
y'all
even
gotta,
including
y'all
crews.
gotta show some love. That's like amazing, Jess. But not to cut you off, but keep
No,
going.
but that's not, I mean, that's not even accounting for line crews or whoever else we dealt with. In my current job, when I first started, they're sending me to seminars and things like that we have to monitor.
Hmm.
And I was so used to it that I met someone at one of the conferences I was at, and they
Hmm.
walked up to me and they pointed it out. They was like, "You do realize you're the only black female here?" I was like, "No, I'm not." And I'm looking around for validation because I'm like, clearly I'm not.
Right.
I was out of 200 white men.
Wow.
And it was funny because, of course, everybody remembers my name,
Of
black
course.
female. Okay.
Of
And
course.
because I had people walk up to me, conference happened, I think 3 times a year. So I would always go to it as
Hmm.
representative for my company. And they would, "Hi, Jessica, how you doing?" I'm like, "Why do you remember me?" But if that one person hadn't pointed it out,
You would have never known.
no, I never paid attention because it was my life, my career. That's what I'm used to.
Wow. All right. And you're doing pretty good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Mel.
All right. So, can you share some tips for the listeners on how finding balance and avoiding, this is a thing that we need to also talk about, avoiding burnout in this balancing act. I know for sure I experience, even still, and I'm not even working a 9 to 5, right? I'm not working a 9 to 5, but I know I experience burnout. So can you share some tips if you have any um for us?
Um, oh, yeah, absolutely. For one, be honest with yourself. Because if you don't take a break, your body will let you know it's time to take a break. And that's the last thing you want because you don't want to be man down all of a sudden when you got a lot of stuff to do. Um, so I absolutely listen to my body, listen to my mind, and be like, okay, this is too much. And don't feel guilty to take a break. I mind you, I had to get to that point, but yeah. So if I need to take a day off from work, they gave you PTO days for a reason. And I, have no problem saying, okay, I need to take this afternoon off, or I need to take a Friday off, and be mindful. Like it's fine. Take a break. Do something fun. Do something relaxing. And it doesn't have to be, oh, going to the skating rink. Oh, I got to get in my car and drive somewhere and be around all these people. My favorite place is a small park, state park, probably 15 minutes from me. And I just sit there at the lake with the ducks, the other people. I can sit there for an hour and just watch the clouds. It is the best thing in the world. Absolutely prepare the others. I have no problem letting I'm preparing the others. I have I've always had supervisors. I put in PTO and they're like, oh, we approved your PTO. And I'm like, that's nice, but I wasn't gonna be here anyway. So I'm letting you know that I'm taking a break. I'm being courteous. But no, really just the boundaries, setting boundaries, listening, and being aware of when you're tired and not feeling guilty to put yourself first and take a break. You need that. That's the only way you can function. As people say, you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, you
Right.
can't pour from a broken cup either.
You're right.
So,
You're
and don't be afraid to ask, ask for help. Have that person you talk to. I have several friends they can tell when it's like, okay, you need to take a break. I'm like,
Is
I
it is
can't, I
it
got this to do, I got that to do. And they're only going to tell you so many times.
okay?
And, and you realize, okay, take a break.
You just said, and my good sis Ebony just said it too. Yes, don't feel guilty. I don't know why that is such a struggle for black women. We'll feel guilty in a minute. And people can be like, others can do us and be like, never mind, and do us all kind of way, but we'll feel guilty about taking a break for ourselves. Listen, if we don't go take a break, okay?
And it is,
Take
it's
a
hard not
break.
to feel guilty, but when you don't like the way you feel
Yes,
about being tired and being frustrated, you learn real quick, okay, I don't feel guilty about not wanting to feel that way because I don't like it.
that part. I've learned not to feel guilty. I think a few years ago, because I was such, it's okay because we're all givers. We're such people. I don't want to say people pleasers. That's why I guess that's why I was repeating that. But I guess we kind of are because we want to make sure that everybody that is around us is comfortable. That's good. Um, Yes, Kim, kill the guilt. We got to kill it because one thing that I learned, and I kept running, and even when we did the episode about rest, the more and more I kept running and running and running and doing and doing and doing, staying up to 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, waking back up, trying to, be a mom, cook breakfast, do all of that. I realized, yeah, I'm still functioning, but am I really functioning?
Exactly.
Am I really
Exactly.
functioning? And I wasn't. I was irritable deep down. You got to learn how to be okay with being honest with yourself. Everything starts with you. This is my thing. Everything starts with you. You first got to love yourself. You first got to be honest with yourself. And you first got to be real with yourself. If you can't do that, you cannot and you should not expect nobody else to do that for you, because nobody will do it for you, because they're going to look at you and be like, but you're not being real with yourself. Yeah, you set boundaries, but you crossing your own boundaries. Yeah,
Right.
you said you did this, but you feeling guilty because you want to rest. No, you have to. It starts with you. I'm gonna calm down because it starts with you.
But I
Okay.
had to learn having that 9 to 5 and setting those boundaries there, I think set the foundation for setting boundaries when
Yes.
it comes to running a business and personal. I mean, it all blends together.
It all
And
blends together.
like, I don't like certain energies. If you're
Yeah.
not being a dark cloud, I'm only going to talk to you probably twice and be like, okay, do this, do that. Have you tried this? But if you are content on being a Debbie Downer, you're going to be a Debbie Downer in the corner by yourself.
By yourself.
And that's part of setting those boundaries, having that good energy. Because it's a lot. It's a lot.
It
Life
is.
is life, and sometimes, and now I get it. I get it when
Right.
people be like, life is life, and ooh, life be life.
And life
And like you
be
said with the guilty thing, it's all about how you like to feel. Because I
right.
mean, nobody else is gonna come and just pump sunshine into you, and all of a sudden you're gonna feel better because you are always doing everything for somebody else. And if it don't get done,
It,
it don't get done. It's
that
okay.
part.
Work. I remember I started in when I first started in corporate America, and I worked in the field.
Uh-huh.
I literally would stay at the office till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I set off security alarms, silent security alarms. Corporate is calling whoever's on duty to come in, and they looking at me like, "Why are you here?" And it took a lineman one night to tell me. He said, "Let me tell you something. If you die today, that work will get done. They'll put another body in your
In your
position."
place.
He said, "Go home. I don't want to ever see you out here again." I stopped doing it because it registered. As I went through my career, people would quit, get fired. They replaced them with another body to get the work done. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it hit me. I was like, okay, a lot of things really aren't that serious. If somebody wants something done, they're going to do it.
They're
If
gonna do it
somebody wants the kitchen cleaned or they want something cooked to eat, they're going to find a way.
and find
You're
a
going to
way.
figure it out.
Okay. So don't feel guilty of taking your break. Set your
Absolutely don't.
boundaries
Yes. And be honest with
and
yourself
be
and how you
honest with
feel.
yourself.
Yeah.
I like that. I got 3 tips. I don't know about anybody else, but I got 3 tips. Those were my 3 tips. So I got another question for you, Miss Jessica. Have you faced any challenges or conflicts between your job and your brand, building your brand or brand building efforts, and how did you navigate them?
That's an everyday struggle. Because as a business owner, there's always something to do. I
Mm,
want to update my website. Oh, I send this email. Oh, I got to sit down and social media content. Oh, that's a whole beast in itself.
Lord Jesus, let's
Um,
not talk about that.
balancing that, and like I said, coming from working in the field all day and then coming
Mm-hmm.
home was like, okay, switching over to regulatory side and the trips. Like I said, I used to
Mm-hmm.
travel all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I got an order while I was on a trip, and I almost panicked because I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as I get off the plane, I got to rush
I got
home. I got a day to make this and then ship it.
oh.
So that taught me about also incorporating boundaries. So when I started adding stuff to the website,
Mm-hmm.
I made sure to put in a buffer in there and saying, okay, I know I can get this done sooner, but customer service is big to me. And I want to
Mm-hmm.
provide good customer service. Um, Even right now, like I'm looking at my website, I'm like, oh, I need to update this. So I want to add a product. I get ideas all the time. And it's managing. I know I got meetings. I know I got
Okay.
deadlines. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a multitasker, but like I said, I list everything. These are my orders. These are my meetings. What can I multitask in? Um, Whether it's letting a laser run or what can I plan out at night. So one thing I definitely will say, scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
I use Publer. I think it's publer.io, which is really
Okay.
good with scheduling.
Okay.
Um, and sometimes I may just take a Sunday or a Saturday. Usually it's a Sunday afternoon and plan some stuff out, just write some stuff out. But every day, it's still an everyday struggle. Like when you asked me to do this, that's why I was like, "What time? When do you need me to do this?" Because I can block off my calendar. I need to make because if I didn't block off my calendar, I know how people are. It's just like, "Oh, you got this space on your calendar. You got a minute to chat."
Not really.
Because you thought it was bad in the office when people would. We had glass walls, and then you had
Uh-huh.
your. And my favorite would be you'd be in there doing something, and you see somebody. God, second. Oh, and then come on in.
Right.
It's only gonna take a minute,
A
but
minute be
even being
taking
at home,
15 minutes
right?
and 30 minutes. You be like, bruh.
Even being at home, we have Teams Messenger, which we
Uh-huh.
use a lot, and once again, it's setting boundaries. So it is an everyday struggle to
Mm-hmm.
navigate my list of things I want to get done in my business and working around meeting schedules and conflicts and stuff comes up at work all the time. I mean, just for the business that we're in or anybody, things come up that you got
Mm-hmm.
to deal with right then. Um, I go back to being real with yourself. You are not Superwoman, and I'm sorry, you not Beyonce. I don't care what nobody say. I'm glad she choreographed her event in 24 hours, but you also don't have a babysitter, security, somebody to cook for you, tell you when to exercise. And people like, no, she's hands on with her kids. Once again, don't care. You not Beyonce. I'm happy she was able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's knowing yourself, and once again, remove the guilt. Sometimes things are just not gonna get done. I have learned if it's meant to get done, it's gonna get done today. If it's not, well, Lord, you know what
Yes.
you're up to, so I'm just gonna let you handle it. And sometimes things don't get done for a reason. You
Okay.
may be in a hurry. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. And
Mm-hmm.
you just keep spinning your wheels. You're not going nowhere. Can't ever get to it. And then when you do get to it, it's right timing.
I like that. So it just basically sounds like you got to keep your boundaries and you got to be real with yourself in order for this whole 9 to 5 to work and you building your brand. No matter what your brand, even when you let's just say if you even just like me, I'm a full time entrepreneur, you still need these tips, right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Because some days I will be in here like heavy. Like today, I wrote out a list. I was like, oh, I got to download all of my videos that I did, already from this month so I can create some content. It's sitting in my CapCut, account. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, oh, wait, I got to get over here to my website because I needed it to flow a different way now because I got some more ideas. So ideas keep coming and coming and coming. But you better have you like me, like your girl here. You better sit
You
down with it.
know, I got at least 3 notebooks, ma'am. I got a whole book bag of just different notebooks and stuff,
Yes.
papers and everything. Because if you write it down, you're gonna
Yes.
come back to it when it's time to come back to it. It's not
Right.
like I said, you can't do everything and it's okay. So I stick to setting
Right.
the boundaries, being organized, and removing the guilt.
Removing
You're,
the guilt.
because I would rather enjoy life and be happy than constantly stressed out. And it's learning to just, it gets heavy. Don't get me wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
wake up some mornings and I have a 3 day, all day meeting conference that happens once a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down. What can I do during this quarter? I mean, during this meeting and still be engaged. And sometimes it may be nothing. It's just like, okay, you know what? Okay, well, I'll plan it for when I can get it done, but don't feel guilty. You're not gonna, and it does some, it works 95% of the time. There are some times when I'm like, man, I really wanted to get this done. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to update my website before this, because I was like, people gonna be looking, and I want to look a certain way. Yeah, I got it this morning. I said they're gonna get what they get.
That-
As one of my friends likes to say, she likes to quote Patti LaBelle. Look, I'm giving you the best I got. If you see this, this is all I got.
Give you the best I got right now.
And it's
Right now.
okay because
And it's
you're
yeah,
gonna be you. You're gonna be, and you'll
yeah,
be a lot happier. And
yep.
people gonna get upset. Well, guess what? I'm still living and breathing. You be all right.
That
Did it
part.
kill you? Did
That
anything
is
burn down? All right, you be okay.
okay. That part. That's what I also had to learn, but that also came with me not comparing myself to the people that I was looking up to.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have to remember they're there and they're the way they are because guess what? They actually have a team. So if you're not ready for a team, then you have to play all the hats. And you
Mm-hmm.
have to be okay with okay, it's gonna get done when it get done because it's gonna get and I'm gonna give you the best right now. You know what I'm saying? But until then, stop following those people, or you look at them every now and then, or you know what I'm saying? Like I look at my the person that I look at. I look at her maybe every 2 months, right? I used to watch her every day, but when I realized that I would watch her all day, every day, that would put me in a funky mood, and then I'll be downplaying myself like, "Oh, Lineka, you're not good enough. Oh, look, you can't even get your website together. Oh, all this other stuff." But I said, "Wait, hold up. I'm gonna stop this right now. Let me unfollow her, or I let me snooze her notifications,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because I realized Facebook can do that." Let me just snooze her real quick so I don't have to play this guilty thing, right? And be okay with what Lanika can do. I can only be me.
And you're
And if
at the right stage for you. And that's
right,
another thing. Stop trying to run somebody else's race. And it's like, well, if you didn't get this done because so and so got it done, congratulations to them, kudos to them. But what is for you is for you and at the right
yes,
time.
yes. I like this. This is good. Um, what is for look, I had to write that down. What is for you is for you.
Because I will now, and mind you, it's frustrating sometimes when I'm
I
trying to
hear
do
it.
something and I'm not where I think, where Jessica thinks she needs to be.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know where I've had conversations like, okay, Jesus, wait a minute. Can you tell us, sister, what's going on? I mean, I'm not jumping out the car. I'm riding with you. But can you tell us
Mm-hmm.
where we're going? I just want to
That
know. Because
part.
my dad used to do that, or he still
Mm.
does. My dad would be like, oh, go get your coat. We're going for a ride. Well, where we going? And he would never tell you till you got there. So that's why it would drive to this day. He still does that. But that's why I'm like, okay, Jesus, what you have for me is for me. We try to hurry up and do stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
we end up in a bind, or your timing is for you. And I had to learn that as well. So,
Right.
like I said, that's why removing the guilt of, oh, I'm not doing
Excuse
this, or
me.
I'm not where I want to be, or I didn't get this checked off my list today. Still going to be there. Things are going according to God's will and His plan for you.
I definitely like that. When you said that, that's what the song came in my head. What is for you is for you.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, that's why I wrote it down. I was like, let me make sure I write this down because I got to keep remembering. Because I was just sitting here saying, oh my goodness, I got to get these videos. I got to get this content. I got to do this. I got to get this website. And then now, all of a sudden, now I'm trying to think about should I do this coaching program? Like I feel like I'm adding on to, and I'm like, listen, I got to slow down and just knock off what I already have as far as my to-do list. Just knock it off first before creating more ideas. So I always tell God, listen, if it's a new idea, can you hold that please? Unless you tell me it's a necessity right now to go ahead and do. because you see your girl already moves slow as it is. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to learn. I just had to say that because sometimes we move so fast, and you don't want
Yeah.
to move so fast and miss out on the opportunity as well. You want to make sure that your brand looks a certain part, feels a certain way, and then make sure that your experience is. I'd rather go overboard than under.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was good because all the other questions kind of all lined up. The other question I had was balancing acts often involves sacrifices. What have you have had to give up or compromise? Excuse me, on to pursue both your career and your personal brand. And that's my last question.
So that one hit me hard last year. Like I
Mm,
said, I moved into the warehouse, business was still booming, and I missed a lot of birthday parties. Like I had a close knit friends who we hung out all the time, and I would try my best to get to functions or get-togethers. And I remember for June, I think I was planning for my first vendor event. And I had everything scheduled out. You know, I was going to meet them for drinks later for their birthday. And another friend called and had an emergency. So I had to help her out. And I'm sitting there like, I had a plan today. I had a schedule today. Like, oh my gosh. And I didn't really get upset. And I was like, okay, everything happens for a reason. It's gonna work out. What's meant to be is gonna be. Whatever I got already made is going to this event, and we just gonna ride it out. And but I did. I told my friend, I said, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And she said, girl, run your business. You making money. I understand. So having people who understand, who are supportive, they get it. And like I said, everybody ain't gonna be like that. That's not gonna be their response. It's okay. They'll be all right.
you
Because
so
I come
right.
first. I got to take me first. But yes, so juggling, I have to turn down sometimes to hang out with friends and do stuff. And that's just going to be a missed opportunity. But there will
Hmm.
be others. It's not the only one. And having people that understand helps that. So that's been my biggest sacrifice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, sleep is not a sacrifice anymore. Because at 5 o'clock, I go take a nap. Everybody in my circle knows. Do not call me at 5 o'clock while you coming home from work. I'm taking a nap. I'll call you when I get up. Because I had one person wanted to know something. I said, well, I guess I could sacrifice 10 minutes of my nap. And I'm gonna tell you this, and then I'm going to take a nap. I
Sure.
want you to realize who you are and be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Because so I'm 40. I will be 43 in like April,
Okay.
and I know I ain't 22.
It,
Going to Clemson homecoming last year. Um,
oh yes.
that was me and my friends, we had a good time. Yeah, Sunday, I realized, yeah, I ain't 22 no more. I ain't 22. So that's my whole thing when stuff gets real. I'm like, I ain't 22 no more. So there's a lot of things I'm not gonna do.
You see,
Um,
everybody's
sleep
with you on that. Sleep is important. We love the nap ministry here, honey. I am not playing with anybody when it comes to the nap
so that's
ministry.
one
I
thing
think
I will not sacrifice. And I'm like,
that part, sleep, I won't sacrifice. Mm-mm.
But
I sacrifice on food.
right, I'll do other stuff. I'm like, okay, but yeah, not missing out on events and stuff. But people know where my heart is, and they know me, and they
Yes.
know what I'm doing, and they are very supportive.
So I heard you kept saying organize your time. Do you have any tips on how to organize? Because what if there's somebody here listening, right? There might be somebody young listening, and they're like, I don't know how to organize my time. I just let things happen and just do everything. And then they're going to realize by the time they hit our age, in our 40s, they're going to realize, oh, wait, now I know why them jokers kept saying that ministry is important. Listen,
Yes,
if I
yes.
knew what I knew now in
Oh
my
yeah.
20s, I would have done life a whole lot better than what
I
You
think
hear
we
me?
all would.
I think so. And it's so crazy because I laugh all the time. I'm like, oh my goodness. I remember when my mom and dad used to be like, all right, y'all, when y'all were young, you just watch out your kids and blah, this. And now here I am sounding just like my parents. I'm like, oh God. I used to tell them, can y'all please cut it out? And now I'm like, now I sound like how they did when they were, when I was young. But I remember being in my 20s and 30s thinking that I was so young and I could just go out here and be like, all right, I could do a part-time job here and I could do my brand
Yep.
here. I could be, and then at that time I had two kids, and they were boys, so football, basketball, all of that, and gaming. And so I'm up with them all day, and then I realized, Nika, I can't make money the way I want to make money if I'm stretched, right? So getting organized in your personal, like Teresa said, in your personal and in your business. How do you, Jessica? Because I know some ways, but how do you organize your time? Give us some tips on how do you organize your time?
My phone calendar is my best friend.
Listen.
I will, if someone tells me, hey, I got something coming up, that is my best friend. I was like, let me put it in my calendar right now. And it also, if I don't want to take on too many things in that month, I don't. That's like personal gets in my calendar during the week. Like I said, I know I have meetings and different things like that. So I try to book things out far enough where I know, okay, yeah, I can do that. And if I something I can't do, I don't have a problem saying, I'm sorry, I'm already booked up. Can't really make that commitment. Um, and list, like I said, I make lists on the weekends when I'm doing, like I want to focus, or even at night. I'd say this after work sometimes. If I want to work on something for my business, whether, and I want to say computer stuff, or even working on orders, I set boundaries. So I know I have to cut an order. For instance, I'm working on family reunion magnets. It's 125 order. Okay, then I'm gonna parse it out. I'm only gonna spend so many hours at the warehouse, and this is what I'm gonna get done while I'm there. Same thing with business stuff as far as computer stuff, emails, content planning. I'm gonna block out that time and I'm gonna get it done, which means sacrifice talking on the phone to somebody. I love y'all, but whatever problem you get is probably gonna be there later. So I'm gonna call you back in like an hour. But yeah, having your phone, do not disturb. So that's another thing. When I figured out do not disturb, that was my best friend. I set my alarm to come on at I think 11:15 at night, and it don't go off till 9 o'clock the next morning. Now I have your favorites that can come through. People that I know will probably, if they contact me, I know it's serious and there's something
Right.
that they need. But
Right.
you put those people in your favorites, and it is the best thing. I've been doing it for over a year,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps
Definitely.
a lot. But it's knowing that, once again, be honest with yourself as to where do not disturb industry. I love it. I absolutely,
Love
because
it.
I wake up calmer in the morning
Yes.
instead of, you spring out of bed. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do that. I can take my time. I can plan out my
Listen.
day, things, my week,
Mm-hmm.
um, do my devotions, listen to the birds if I want to, and it is the best thing. And I don't panic when 9 o'clock hits and I know I'm gonna have all these notifications. Okay, well now let me go see which ones I'm gonna address now and the other ones come later.
Right.
But it helps. That's part of setting that boundary. That do not disturb is it's awesome.
Yes.
Um, Blocking off time. So once again, another thing, still sticking to be real with yourself as to what you can get done. If you get
Mm-hmm.
something extra done, great. That order for 125 reunion favors, I split it up. Okay, I'm gonna cut half tonight. I'm gonna go home. Cut
Mm-hmm.
another half. Um, Sand them. What's today? Thursday. Probably won't go out there today. We'll go out there Friday. Sand them, prep them, get them packaged to mail out on Monday. And it's just setting that schedule, and you rest a lot easier. The
You do.
boundaries is everything. Like I said, I stick to the main three: being organized, don't feel guilty, remove that guilt, and set
Yes.
those boundaries because it's only one you.
Only one you. Only one you. Somebody put your suit on and come swim with us. Laugh out. Okay. Y'all are hilarious. I mine are similar to yours as well, but I remember because Latricia asked this question. One thing is because I know she's a mom with three, you really are going to have to set your days. Like I had to get real organized. So this is how I do on Sundays after the nap ministry, because you go to church, right?
Yep. Yep.
You go to church, you come home, you might have a little snack or whatever, and then you go to your little nap ministry. So after your nap ministry, I get up and I go ahead and say, all right, let me go ahead and plan out my week. I no longer, because this is what my biggest thing was and why I was not organized. I would try to do the whole month.
Oh yeah, no.
I realized if I chunk this up, I'm better. So I even went to as far as okay, let me just do just the first 3 days. But then I would forget come Wednesday to sit down and plan out the rest of the days. So I learned that on Sundays from 4 to 5, I'm sitting with my phone, I'm sitting with the paper and pen and I'm planning out my day and I'm on Google because
Yeah.
Google will tell Google and iPhones, if y'all all, whatever phone you got, all you got to do is connect them all and they'll all sync, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I plug in everything and all right, I remember I got a meeting with such and such. I got a meeting with such and such. And so it all plugs in on my phone and I put it just in case if it didn't come from off my Google, I put it on my iPhone calendar. But I had to sit down and say an hour. Let me plan out my week so I don't miss out on anything. And then from then I'll be like, all right, like even today, right? Today I'll say like my son knows on Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm doing podcasting. So now I asked him instead of me running around in the morning and getting the other two kids off to school, guess what, son? Can you go take your brother
Right.
and sister to school so mama can go ahead and get ready together in my head? Because I at first I would be cleaning, I'll be trying to cook, and next thing you know it'd be 10:55 and y'all waiting on me. No, I learned that if I just set my days and be like, all right, this is what we're doing. So everybody knows at 2 o'clock I'm in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Headed to go get
Right.
my kids. I just had to learn. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. And if I get an email, I get an email. I respond the next day. It already automatically sends to that client like, "Hey, I respond in 24 hours," and I had to be okay with that because I'm like, "No, I don't want nobody to have to wait." Because if I email somebody, I want a quick response, but
Right.
you can't be
Right.
like that either no more. You know what I'm saying? So when I stopped expecting me from other people, I relaxed.
That's yes, that is a very good point. Everybody
Yeah.
is not you. Everybody doesn't think like you and move like you, and it's okay.
Yeah, you got to be okay. You got to really, 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 like Jessica said earlier, y'all. She said you got to be real with yourself. You really got to be real with yourself. Yes, you want to have all those orders. Yes, you want to have 50 million 11 clients, but can you really handle all of that? Yes, we need money. I'm not saying that we don't, right? But is it worth your sanity at the same time? Because let's say you get 3 clients that come in and be like, yo, I need 100 and something, like you just said, 125. What if they all needed them all at the same day? Can you do all three?
And that's what setting those boundaries. So I learned real quick, and I've had orders where it's like 200, 300 wedding favors. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
you are one of 16 orders I just got in. I'm about to lose it. And I
That
don't
part.
lose it because I planned accordingly. I put that buffer in there. And if it's organizing them. And I've had other than because as soon as I get an order for 300 wedding favors, I'm like, who is coming to your wedding? But that's not for me to know. But
Right.
I
I see
appreciate
that.
your order. But no, it's and knowing like that came during a busy week
Mm,
at work. And I was like, okay, sit down, parse this out and take a night off because I was gonna sacrifice. Usually I take Wednesday night off and I'm home,
Yeah.
not from the warehouse, and I had to learn. You can still take Wednesday off. You know how to plan this out, so you're not panicking and it's not a rush. And there are times when I've called friends and be like, "Hey, I need your help. I need to teach you how to do parts of the job." And that was interesting because when you don't have crafty friends helping you,
I'm
you be
sure.
sitting there like, "You moving too slow. No, you're not doing that right." And you had to learn, like, okay, back off, let them move at their pace. You work on something else. Don't worry about it. You ask them for help. You're getting help at the end of the day. But yeah, it's I've had that happen. And once again, setting
Okay.
those boundaries, staying organized, plan it out, and everything will work out. It will. Yeah, it's gonna be hectic. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna when you look at it on paper, I'm about to lose my mind. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Sure.
But no, I get what you're saying. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned the setting the time,
Yes.
um, like I said, do not disturb. And sometimes I just do silent. You just silence the phone,
Yeah.
and like I'm gonna get this done in this amount of time. I may run 5 minutes over, but it's okay because I feel more accomplished that I actually sat down,
Yep.
was still, and did stuff. I've gone to coffee shops on Saturday mornings and gotten so much done. Put my headphones on, and it's the best relief. I've gone to the
Listen,
library
I
and
was
done
gonna
the
say
same
I go
thing.
to the library and get a whole study room and sit with the laptop and put the headphones on and get so much done. And look, the kids on the other side reading books, watching videos. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
You just have to find what rocks. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying with
you
you.
got to find that rhythm and groove. What works for you,
Yes,
and
yes.
try different things. Don't ever give up. Try something that's going to fit.
But at least try. Amen.
That's the thing. Don't give up. Like you're the only person telling yourself no when you don't do anything.
Uh-huh. That part. That part. Well, this was good, Jessica. I so appreciate you. This was good. I hope that you all have picked up some pointers. The number one pointer is don't you feel guilty. Okay?
Don't don't do it
Don't
because
feel
that person
guilty.
don't feel guilty about bothering you when you busy.
And say that, look, as I sip on my water. Okay. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This was yet another good episode. Learning how to balance between look, she said definitely don't feel guilty and take that nap. Yes, please.
Yes.
We cannot. You know why? Let me tell y'all. Let me tell you a little piece about why I love the nap ministry. You know the Bible. There's a story in the Bible, and listen to all y'all Bible gurus. Don't come from me. I just remember. Y'all know I'm a visual person. Okay, but I can see hold on. There was a Bible story when Jesus was in the boat and it was a storm, right? And everybody was all like, God, you ain't gonna, Jesus, you're not gonna do nothing. You don't see the storm. And Jesus was what? He was chilling. You understand what I'm saying? Like he was in the boat, like, I'm going to rest. And so when I realized that Jesus was in the storm and he was about to go to sleep while everybody else on the boat was panicking, I said, oh, I'm about to get my rest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go out here and act all crazy. Mark 4. Thank you, Trees. Yeah, see, he was asleep. So get your sleep on. And listen, if you got kids, get them kids to go to sleep too, amen. Or at least lock them up somewhere. No, oh, wait, you can't say you can't say. Hold on, because I can't say lock them up. So I don't come after me, Facebook. But like put something on, or just make the kids fall asleep too. You know what I'm saying? On the weekends, of course, because you can't
Right,
make them
right.
go to sleep during the weekday. But listen, take a nap. That's the reason why I love taking me a nap when I need to, because I realize, yo, Jesus did it. I can too. And that's my little 2 cents that I had to just add on. Get your rest and then go read Mark 4. Okay.
I
Like
love
she
it.
said, go read Mark 4. But anyway, thank you, Jessica. This was good. I appreciate you for sharing your tips. Listen, I don't know if you can type your website, but y'all go on and go look at her stuff. Like I said, she created this for me, and just like my other sister, which we still got to reschedule her podcast. These are some crafting ladies. You understand? If you need anything that goes with your brand, come holler at them. You understand? And I'm gonna have her put her website and or
Well, I
put
don't know if that went to you or to everybody. I think it went to just you.
did it? It did. It just went just to me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It did. Uh-huh. Hold on. Let me see it. Cause I don't know why it won't even let me comment. Or how about Trees? Goes Jess.
Really?
Thank you.
I'm working a whole
Trees.
9 to 5
Right.
damn late. Do we not just say I travel? No, I'm just kidding.
If you when you go back in and when we end this live, Jessica, go back in and just do put your website in there for the people to go
Okay.
check it out. Okay. But yeah, not speaking in tongue, not the tongue. Listen, I'm about to go. This was another good episode. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, come see me next Tuesday. We're gonna have another good sis. Coach Ebony, come in and we're gonna talk about the mindset for your
Ah,
brand, huh? That's gonna be another powerful one. But y'all be staying tuned. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to let y'all go. Peace and blessings.